Oh, that's right. We don't need my headphones. Oh, God. Oh. I gotta blow my nose real quick. Where the fuck is my alarm day? Alright, welcome back, everyone. We're gonna be doing what I said was doing. We're gonna be doing music-related stuff. If you saw the title of the stream, yeah, we're gonna be... I wanted to do a topster list of my albums that I like. Just want to make sure. Yep. We're gonna be doing this topster list. It's just called Topsters 2, I guess. If you want to go, if you want to find the website or whatever. If I remember, I'll leave a link to it. But this way, it's easier to do than Tier Maker and stuff. And obviously, I need a Twitter for that. But just in case anyone wanted, because people that know me know that I'm a big music person. So, for any future referencing, if anyone wants any sort of recommendation for some music that I would give out and stuff, then it would be this. So anyway, we'll just kind of list off albums here and stuff like that. And obviously the ones up here will be the better ones, and the ones down here will be the lesser ones. I got Rate Your Music for reference, and then I got my Spotify down here open just in case I need to use that when I'm thinking of albums and stuff. But yeah, so anyway, I'll try to keep it limited to one album per artist, unless it's like I really feel like that artist had a really good set of albums or something, and that typically is the case anyways. Most artists have only like really one good album to recommend to people. Depends on the artist though. Some of the greatest artists I think obviously have more than that, but yeah. So we'll just right off the bat, we're just gonna go with the obvious picks and stuff. I might move the order around of everything later on, but for right now, we're just gonna go with I'm just gonna list off all the easy stuff. So let's see. So Radiohead, Kid A, I like that one. And I'll give it like a little description of these as I talk about them. Basically, I'm going to do a tier list too of Radiohead at some point, but it's where they go into the realm from alt rock territory to experimental rock, and it's basically a really good success story of something that was executed very well done. It has a lot of indie-tronic elements to it, along with what is it? It's the same thing that Portishead and Bjork was doing in the 90s or something like that. I can't remember what that IDM or EDM. Same thing with Aphex Twin. They're taking elements of that in electronic music and they're incorporating it into an alt rock sound. It pounds out so well. It's super successful. It's definitely one of those album listens or something. You can't really listen to the thing without listening to the whole album. There's not even singles off it. They didn't actually give singles off of it. I'm gonna go here then, and then just go to Kid A. Oh, fantastic. Okay. Yeah, if you're gonna listen to it or want some recommendations, Everything in Its Right Place, How to Disappear Completely, that's one of my favorite songs. I like that. Idiotech, that's good. And then maybe Kid A with that. That's a little bit weirder and stuff. And there's a lot of instrumental tracks, but I think the instrumental tracks are better when you listen to it as a whole. And everything, but yeah, that's about that. And then if you watched my other tier list, you'll know that Weezer is just easy one. Oh, that's kind of cool. There's an effect on Pinkerton. Anyway, this is good alt rock songs, power pop alt rock songs, and everything. Not too much else to say about that. You can watch my other tier list talking about it. It goes more in depth to that. This is more, you could listen to these just for the singles and stuff, but this is just a fun, I was almost going to say California rock album or something, but for the 90s. You'll also see a trend here later on that, like, I have you can tell what age I am based on the music that I like. So you'll see a bias there and everything, but yeah. Anyway, we'll go on to the next one. If I spelled that right. Aha! There's plenty of these guys. Alright, and these aren't in the order that I want them in right now, but yeah, so The Cure does this awesome thing where they... so I think what my preference to music is where you can balance artistic experimentation with pop sensibilities. And it's very hard to do that for a lot of people. You usually get one or the other. You get something that's more artistic in view, but it's not as like poppy, or you get something that's more on the pop-centered side of things, but it sacrifices some sort of artistic integrity or experimentation towards it. There is this weird perfect balance that Disintegration does, because if you listen to their music up from, I think it's 1979 all the way up until now, which is 1989 in Disintegration, you get I don't know if they would qualify that as post-punk in the early albums with Imaginary Boys, but once you get to the darker, like the trilogy albums with Pornography and I can't remember the names of the other ones, but you get more of that post-punk goth rock sound that I've grown to appreciate as I've gotten older. And then they go back to that sound of the lighter side of post-punk and everything with more pop tunes on Head on a Door and Kiss Me, the Kiss Me double album. That tends to be more... they do find success in there with a little bit of the post-punk experimentation, but here they mix in the gothic elements from their trilogy gothic albums and stuff, and it just pans out super successfully. Gonna disintegrate. Oh, well, actually, no. I want to do this. Disintegration. Yeah, just so I can recommend stuff off here if you want it. So, Lullaby is an obvious one. It's more of the popular ones. Fascination Street, Pictures of You. Disintegration, the title track is just awesome. Yeah. But nope, that's one of those perfect balanced pop and equal parts pop and then whatever element of music they're going into, which is post-punk and goth rock in there. So, yeah. Alright, and then brand news, The Devil and God Are Raging Inside Me. This is the best emo album in my opinion, hands down. It's better than American Football. I've tried to get into American Football and I just don't. I like certain songs from them, but like this again is just, it's a really good flowing album and everything. The intensity, the energy, the mix of post-hardcore, I think, with a bit of alt-rock and Midwest emo are just, it's just boom. It's got you got the top three. You got that. It's like boom, motherfucker. It's super good. So really like that. We'll go to that. The Devil, God, because Jesus Christ is the obvious song if you wanted to listen to like a single off there. I don't know how well of a representation of the music that is. It's one of the slower, easier on the ears cuts, but I didn't see this part. I really like Limousine. Yeah, like a lot of these songs that I wouldn't care for, like the Untitled or anything, or maybe Handcuffs. At the point of me listening to the entire album, I'm just going to be listening to it all the way through, and I like it. You Won't Know is awesome. Welcome. Yeah, just all these songs are really good for different reasons. DeGausser, or DeGosser, I don't know if I'm saying it right. Indie rock is what was missing here, and then art rock. So far you can see the themes of art rock are in play here and everything. So, yeah. All right, what's next? I'm going to put, because this is recency bias, I'm going to put like Clockwork from Queens of the Stone Age up here. Um, I don't know. I'd have to, and I have been listening to Songs for the Deaf more recently, but I thought the general opinion on this is the third best Queens of the Stone Age album in a general sense of the community for them. But now that I'm seeing on Rate Your Music, they placed it as like the second best one, which is awesome. That's fine. I think it's definitely a different vibe than than Songs for the Deaf. I mean, sorry. But anyway, so yeah, it's a little bit slower paced in terms of because it incorporates more elements of art rock into it. You don't get the hard rock, stoner rock aspect of it as much because of like the full, like firing on all four cylinders, like, injection of, it's like you're injecting yourself with drugs sense that you get with Songs for the Deaf. These are just really well crafted alt rock, stoner rock songs that have a mature theme to them about like the concept of death and everything. My God is the Sun, I Sat by the Ocean, that's a good single. I Appear Missing is like really good though. Everything. Another one where I'd rather just listen to the whole thing all the way through, but definitely recommend that. All right, what else do we got here? Okay, so I know these ones have just been playing on my rotation for a while, so we'll go. Yeah, I think this is an easy one. Master of Puppets. I actually wasn't into thrash metal when I was a kid or something, and so I finally, when I listened to, it didn't click for me when I listened to Master of Puppets for the longest time, but now I'm really into it. There's not a lot of, there's not too many metal albums that I'm really into, and you'll see this in a minute. But this is just, I like that they have really good instrumentals, and the chorus bridge things are really awesome here within the tracks and everything. Let's go to Master of Puppets because the title track is awesome. Orion being the only instrumental track is freaking badass. I really like that. I really just like the instrumentals on this, and then I think I got more into the vocals and everything. Leper Messiah is good. Disposable Heroes, Battery. I think some of the slower cuts that take a more crescendo core approach to it, I think I don't care for as much. Like the Thing That Should Not Be in Welcome Home Sanitarium, but the things that take less time to get into the bulk of the song, I think are a lot better. So yeah, but I definitely like these. It just depends. I have to be in the mood to listen to Master of Puppets, but I will put it on my list. And since I remembered the metal thing, I'm going to put Deaf Heaven's Sunbather on there because I haven't talked about it yet, but when I discovered post-rock, it's probably the most interesting and unique genre of music that I would recommend. It's just so crazy what you can do with it and stuff. And people would be like, oh, it's just instrumental music and stuff. I'm like, well, it depends. It depends. And stuff like that, It depends on if you're listening to Sigur Rós, Godspeed, or whatever. But in this case, you're incorporating elements of black metal or black gaze, I think they call it, where there's a little bit of shoegaze in there and stuff. And just the fucking intensity of how crazy these songs are, and then it contrasts that with a very slow, not slowcore, but more post-rocky sound. I didn't know that. Yeah, it's executed very well. Like, my God, like I did not think. I think it took me a while to get to like the screamo side of that in terms of the vocals and everything. But that was just my introduction to metal in general. But yeah, Sunbather, Dream House is awesome. I don't know, because these are all instrumental tracks and stuff, but probably the Pecan Tree and stuff. But yep, if you want a crazy fucking album that's also equal parts heavy as it is soft, then I would recommend that. You will not understand the vocals probably, because I did not. Okay, Is there any other metal albums? I'm almost tempted to put a King Gizzard album on here. I just can't. They just don't rank super high in my opinion. I like King Gizzard. I just don't think they're like best albums of all time material. So I got my list here. These are all the albums I just have on my Spotify. So we'll just see here and what I want to put. Ooh, the newest one. Yes. Oh yeah, we'll put that. The Black Country New Road album that came out this year. It definitely goes into... Is it not going to load now? What the shit? Okay. What if I just type in black? Okay. That's weird. Okay. I don't know why it's doing that. Okay, that's weird. Let's try reloading this. And do Master of Puppets. Okay, so we got that. And then Black Country New Road. It's another post-rock, art rock album that you get. Yeah, no, this is my favorite album of this year, 2021. It's just, oh god, I don't know if you would count indie-tronic music in there in terms of the instrumentals, but they are, if Arcade Fire, which is a funny way I've heard them been talked about, where they're like Arcade Fire if they were a little bit more art rocky and more post rocky in their sound. But yeah, so basically they just have a really smooth ass way of doing post rock and stuff. I guess post punk you could put in there, but I thought of it as art rock mixed with post rock and experimental rock. Anyway, these are heavy leaning into the instrumentals and whatnot. And I really think they've got a unique singer for who's narrating all the songs and everything. But that's my favorite album of this year. I would definitely recommend. Okay, let's go back to the list of Spotify. Let's see what I would put next. Oh, yeah. Let's, before I forget this, if you want a... Oh, come on. Why does it always do that? That's weird. Okay. If you want a good... Okay, it was just there. Okay, there you go. If you want a good indie pop, indie-tronic record that's like got... It's pretty easy on the ears for your listening experience, I'd go with that, the Postal Service Give Up album. It, yeah, it just has a lot of easygoing, because it's the singer from Death Cab mixed with this, I can't remember what the name of the guy is from the other thing, but Jimmy Tamborello. Yeah, that's who it is. Anyway, yeah, they did one album of this, and it was just a random side project they did in 2003. But it's just a cool bunch of fun, intimate songs through an indie-tronic element and stuff like that. I don't really care for indie-tronic music as a whole, but I think there's exceptions like this where it's really awesome. So, Such Great Heights, you've probably heard that song on the radio and everything, but yeah, District Sleeps Alone, Sleeping In, Nothing Better. God, they're all just like really good, short, sub 5-minute indie pop tunes and everything. And then before I get past that, if it lets me, or is it not going to? Is it just going to do this stupid thing again? Okay. I guess it does that every time I close the tab. All right. Yep. Transatlanticism. It's another. It's okay. So now take Ben Gibbard's project here in the same year. Instead of doing indie-tronic music, but it's indie pop still. Now mix it in with indie rock and everything, and you basically just get transatlanticism. So it's equal. It's like equal parts, just as good and everything. But I have a bias more towards this because I just like this style of music. I like indie rock music a lot more. Again, if I'm gonna reorder this and everything, I'm just putting them in here as I see fit right now. So yeah, these are just a lot of good intimate tunes and stuff like that. Transatlanticism. We looked at Giants. The Sound of Settling is probably the biggest indie pop tune, and then I think that's about it. Yeah. All right. So now, what else is there? Because there's obvious picks I could totally do, but I'm not gonna. So yeah, we will look at our Spotify again just to check it out. Oh, I'm stupid. I'm definitely stupid. Because I forgot about White Pony by the Deftones. God damn, this is like... The more I listen to this, the more I fucking love this album. But the other thing, too, on the flip side of that is I only like this Deftones album probably the most versus all of the others for some reason. Like, I've listened to others. I've listened to Ohms. I've listened to Around the Fur. I like it. I just haven't been able to commit to say with like Diamond Eyes or something like that. Like I really enjoy the album as much as I do White Pony. It's just I was gonna say post metal. It's not that. It's new metal mixed with it's a really good alternative metal album. I should say, but it has the new metal elements coming from Around the Fur, making it a little bit more. How would I say, processed, not compressed, but it's just like it's like the poppiest version of alt metal I could think of, which is a good thing to me and stuff. It just like all the songs sound so freaking awesome to listen to, and that like it's not hard in the ears, even though the guy's screaming. I can't remember the Chino Massar. I can't remember the guy's fucking name, the singer, but. It's just there's a lot of song and there's an equal balance of songs that are really just verse chorus verse songs, and then there's a lot more experimental tracks and stuff like that. It just has a really good balance of what it offers in terms of the poppier tracks, the more experimental tracks, and they're just executed so well. Change in the House of Flies is probably in my top 5 songs of all time, and it's on that album. So, yeah, I remember it was on a Dragon Ball Z movies, and then I remember I really liked that, and I remember discovering this way later in my life, and then I was like, okay, that's cool. Okay, I'm probably gonna come back to these a little bit later. Oh, I'm stupid. Okay, first off, one of the newer albums. If there was going to be an album I recommend from the 2010s, it's going to be MGMT's Little Dark Age. This is just... I thought they couldn't... I didn't think... because apparently I've checked Rate Your Music, and I actually... I can just show you right now. Because I think people list this as the best MGMT album. And... let me just double check that. I'm kind of curious to see. Yeah, it's the best one. It eclipsed Congratulations, which is awesome. It's just the best one. It's goddamn. I don't really care for synth pop. Well, that's not true. Because there's certain synth pop artists and stuff like New Order, and I was going to say Blue Oyster Cult. That's not it. Whatever the other one is that was parallel to them. Depeche Mode, I think it is. They're the ones that kind of pioneered that sound of synth pop. And then I like Cyndi Lauper. You know, everyone incorporated it in the 80s and stuff. Even fucking Bruce Springsteen. But the one thing I'll say about synth pop is that I never liked the way they mixed it with other genres of music until I got to Little Dark Age, because then they were mixing it with neo-psych and gothic rock, and I was like, holy shit, this is such a good... It's like with Kid A, where you didn't think that these genres of music would blend together really well. And so I remember listening to this there's a lot of albums on this list that it takes a lot of listens to get into and really fully understand. But Little Dark Age, no, it sounds like the first 4 tracks. It is very top heavy in its track listing, but the first 4 tracks are just like straight fucking bangers from the beginning of it. Like when I first listened to She Works Out Too Much, I was like, oh my god, I already like this song on first listen, and then it just keeps going all the way up until Me and Michael, I'd say. And then I've appreciated the bottom half of this a lot more as I've listened to it more. And then New Wave and stuff like that. But goddamn, this is just... The more time goes on, the more I'm finding that this is one of my favorite albums of the 2010s. Like, if somebody's going to ask me that in, like, 10, 20 years, what your favorite album was, or some of your favorite albums were from that decade, growing up in your early 20s, what it was, then I'd be like, oh yeah, fuck yeah, it's that album. Alright, and then now we'll do Modest Mouse, because I like the indie rock. And if anyone knows a Modest Mouse fan, you can either go with Moon in Antarctica, or you could go with the Lonesome Crowded West. And I'm going to go with that, because that is... The most accurate way of putting this statement is it's the most Modest Mouse sounding album and everything. It's like... I treat it in the same way that I treat the band Pavement, where... a lot of people would prefer Slanted and Enchanted over Crooked Rain, but I feel like they get a little bit better with the mixing and stuff in the production on their second album, that it makes it more palatable to a wider audience, but at the same time not sacrificing the initial sound that they're going for. And I honestly, I'll just say too that the songwriting in this sounds a lot more cohesive and a lot more thought out and put together, because I think just This Is a Long Drive, I think, was a really good album, but I think this one is just more of that with more oomph. They had more chance to like refine that sound. But anyway, there's Teeth Like God's Shoe Sign. These songs get so fucking intense. I think a big thing about the music I like is really crescendo heavy. But yeah, Teeth Like God's Shoe Shine, Cowboy Dan. I can just look this up. Crowded West. All right. Yeah, because Cowboy Dan, Teeth Like God's Shoe Shine. Doing the Cockroach I like. Trailer Trash. Trucker's Atlas. Yeah, and then Bankrupt on... There's just a lot of good songs here. It's a good mix of everything. It's a long track listing, but I feel like it's one of those albums where listening to it just makes the time go by and everything. So I don't know. I had fun listening to it. I could definitely put Moon in Antarctica on this list also for different reasons, but I'm gonna limit it to just that for now. So let's go back to the Spotify. See what we got next. Ooh, I should put a national album on there. I just don't know which one I would do. And then I could obviously do more Radiohead. This is tough. Wow. It's not that I wouldn't pick these albums and stuff like that. It's just I'm just trying to think which one would kind of go next in terms of what I'm kind of enjoying here. Wow. Ooh, you know what? I will actually do that. I think I can cheat with with putting another Queens of the Stone Age album on here and put the Caius album on here because it's in the 90s too. It's completely, it's 2 decades outside of fucking this other album, and plus it's a different band, so don't at me, bro. But yeah, if you wanted more of the stoner rock, desert rock sound from Queens of the Stone Age that's more in line with Songs for the Deaf, you would definitely want to listen to this. It's even stoner metal, I think they call it, yeah, which I totally fucking agree. Wow, they have a weird, they list in 4 tracks. Well, technically 3 if you don't count Lake Deal, which is an awesome hidden track. Gardenia, Supa Scoopa, and Mighty Scoop. God damn, these fucking song names. Space Cadet, Demon Cleaner. Demon Cleaner and Gardenia and Space Cadet are probably the easiest on the ears. But yeah, it's just really... Oh, yeah, it's heavy psych. Hell yeah, I would actually use that as a reference for my genre. But yeah, no, it's more of that full octane. It's a really good driving album. If you're going to listen to like badass fucking driving music that like keeps you awake at night, then I would listen to that. Yeah, no, that was a pretty good recommendation. All right, let's go back to the Spotify. Because there's some of these here that like are obvious picks. I just don't know. Oh, fucking Discovery. I'm so stupid. Oh, God. Okay, so there's not... I think so far on this list, if this goes... I think so far on this list, if I had to pick an album where the widest amount of people could enjoy the music, then... I'm not counting this so far, because that's going to go in my argument. Maybe Little Dark Age would be up there. Yeah, because again, these songs favor more artistic experimentation than popular. It'd probably be the Disintegration. Well, no, maybe Give Up would be up there too. But anyway, so that's more to my point to Discovery, because goddamn, this is just like, I've heard. From when I talk to people about music, I've heard most people really like Discovery. Like, it spans... the interest of Discovery spans multiple generations of people. So I've had adults that are like in their, twice my age, they're in their 50s or something like that. Just, they like songs off of this and everything. It depends on the song. But I think there are different cuts off of it that are really nice. It's just a really good... I don't know if it's indie-tronic that you would... But it's my favorite dance album. Because it's technically like a techno dance album, I think. It's French House is more like it. Daft Dunk. Yeah, Daft Punk. Okay. Let's see what's on the track list. French House, Electro House. Yeah. But is there indie? It's not indie-tronic. Okay, it's dance pop, French house, electro disco. Okay, but this is you know what's funny is I am not into any of these genres of music besides maybe like dance pop and synth funk. It's so weird how they're able to make an album that is really appealing to people that might have not been interested in that genre of music before. So I just got to give it to them. Like, Jesus Christ, like One More Time, so many people have heard that song. I hear that in clubs still to this day. It is such a good fucking song. But like, obviously, because I'm more for artistic experimentation, I would probably go with something like, also Harder, Better, Faster, Stronger's in there, but maybe Verdis Quo. That's French, I can't say that. Face to Face is good. Voyager maybe, but Something About Us and Digital Love are probably my favorite tracks off of it, just because I like the moodier tracks that they do that are a little bit more intimate, because it's almost like a slow dancing song that you would play at the club. But God, and if you've watched the movie Interstellar 555, I think that's yeah, there's 4 5s in it. It's just so good. Like I don't give this album enough listens, but if I could buy this on CD, I totally fucking would. So, highly recommend that. I might put Random Access Memories on here. That's almost just as... Yeah, I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say it's almost just as good, but I'm going to say it's good. Alright, what else do we got here? I could put... Wow. You know, I'm not much of a Beatles fan as much as I used to be, so, like, if you're asking me one of my Beatles, I'd probably go with Sgt. Pepper's. Well, no, oh, wow, that's fucking tough. Yeah, I don't know. I'll put Funeral on this list, though, because since I like Black Country New Road, that means I like Arcade Fire. And so, Arcade Fire kind of has the status of having multiple good albums, but their first outing into like the chamber pop, when they're leaning more into the chamber pop territory with their indie rock, I think it's the best version of it. And also the crop of songs are just like the most well structured and everything. I don't know, how would I recommend this? It's in the same vein of timeline with the indie rock. When indie rock was kind of becoming popular in the early 2000s, on the radio, you had artists like Death Cab and Arcade Fire and stuff like that. But these guys were like overnight successes in the indie rock scene. But let me look and see. I actually just listened to this album recently and I thought it was really good. But what the... You gotta be shitting me, dude. Okay. Alright. Yeah, Neighborhood 1, Wake Up, Haiti, Rebellion Lies in the Backseat. Not to say Neighborhood 3, or I think it's... I kind of want to go listen to this after I do this stream, because goddamn, it's really good. Yeah, but I think the first intro song is a pretty good indicator of that. It's indie rock, chamber pop. Oh, post-punk. There's a little bit of post-punk in there with the chamber pop, and why is it listed twice? And art pop. Yeah, I think is what I was thinking of. Yeah, let's see here. Okay, so we got that. Okay, now, you know, this is tough. I don't know which one I want to pick off of... I like Nirvana. It's a super easy thing for me because I'm a 90s kid. But the question is, which album do I like better from them between Nevermind and In Utero? Because Nevermind has the poppier tracks, the friendlier songs, but In Utero is a better album as a whole. Well, if I'm going to put Nirvana on this list, I'm going to put In Utero because... Yeah, it's just... Oh, and that makes me think of another album, too. It's just... because if you know about the top 4 or whatever, the big 4 for grunge music with Nirvana, Alice in Chains, Pearl Jam, and Soundgarden, they each have their own element to... of genres of music they mix into grunge music, and for Nirvana's case it happens to be more punk music and stuff. So I don't know, just I like this the producer on this album is Steve Albini, and I really like what he does with a lot of the music where he keeps it really heavily distorted and everything. And so I just really like that aspect of it, because you know, when I'm thinking about the songs, if I was to compare the songs track for track between this and Nevermind, I think just I think at the end of the day, I think In Utero beats it. But obviously, like, you know, you could say Smells Like Teen Spirit. Actually, I don't like that as much. I like Come As You Are more, and Lithium more than Smells Like Teen Spirit. But No, I just think like Serve the Servants, All Apologies, it ends way stronger. The album ends on a way stronger note. Penny Royalty. There's just so many more filler tracks that are so much better. Like the deep cuts on this album are much better than the deep cuts on Nevermind. I think that's what the argument comes down to between these two albums. So, yeah. And since we're talking about grunge music, I'm gonna put Alice in Chains in here. And I am not a Pearl Jam fan as much. I do listen to Super Unknown from Soundgarden, but this is the only other really good grunge album I'd probably recommend besides like the two Nirvana albums. Maybe Super Unknown. But when I got into Dirt, and so what Dirt does, or Alice in Chains do with their sound, they incorporate the sounds of I wouldn't say thrash metal, but just more they're more into the metal sound, incorporating that into grunge music. I think it's more stoner metal, if I remember right. If I did that right, and why? Okay, yeah, okay. It's heavy metal. It's alternative metal. That's what it is. Yeah. So you can kind of see where I like Deftones and compare this to the same thing. I really like the alt metal scene a lot, and that's around the same time frame too. This is early 2000s, mid 90s or so. So that sound is still there. Yeah, no, it's just Them Bones, Damn That River, Rain When I Die. God, there's so many good tracks off of this thing. Sick Man, Rooster, Junkhead. Maybe not Junkhead as much, but Godsmack. I thought that was the last track. No. I'm way off. Down in a Hole, Wood. Just the deep cuts. Like, I think it's more, if I'm gonna listen to the deep cuts, I'm listening to this album all the way through. But just yeah, it's a very intense album to listen to. I really started off with listening to Rooster, and then I think I went from there. I think I got into the deeper cuts and stuff, and I think if I had to pick, I'd probably do Rain When I Die as probably my favorite track off there. I just think it builds up to a really good thing. I can't remember the name of the singer. Lane Staley. Yep. He's got a beautiful voice. He's got a beautiful voice for grunge music. Yeah. Anyway. Oh, what else? I like Pink Floyd. I know I like Pink Floyd. I've got a t-shirt by them, so I feel like I should put an album on here. But which album do I put? If I'm a basic bitch, I put Dark Side of the Moon. If I'm edgy, I put Animals on there, probably. Or what would the other one be? Adam Heartmother, I would think. I feel like a lot of woke people would put The Wall of anything, but I'm going to go with Wish You Were Here because I tend to lean more into the instrumental post-rock side of things. Not that this qualifies as post-rock, but it's more instrumental based and everything because you get the Shine On You Crazy Diamond parts 1 through 3 and then 3 through 6, I believe, or 4 through 6 in the beginning and end of this. And this is an element that they pick up more on Animals. But this is, I think, right after this. It just has the best balance of instrumental music with artistic. Again, it goes back to what I like best about my music, where it has a good balance of poppier music mixed with instrumental artistic experimentation. So then you get like Welcome to the Machine. You get Wish You Were Here, which everyone who's listened to Pink Floyd knows that song. It's really good. So it's just got a good balance of tracks and stuff like that, I think. Whereas with Dark Side of the Moon, it's a very tight-knit, flowing album, but I feel like it's really good to listen to while you're fucking high. I should say that. I've seen a list of stoner albums, and that's just like the number one album to listen to while you're high. And while we're on the post-rock side of things, we will recommend, if I can, yeah, this one, okay. Godspeed You, Black Emperor. So it's the music sounds as fucking weird and intense as the name of the artist is. Some people might go with Lift Your Skinny Fist Like Antennas to Heaven. That's a more bright side of that's a more bright sounding album. This is a way darker and despondent one. Sorry, I'm a depressing person, but like this is just like the apocalypse of the world quantified into a fucking album, and it's super fucking intense. Like I think this is like there's a lot of more easygoing post rock albums you can listen to. Of course, Black Country New Road. This is like this is an experience. Like I want to emphasize that there's not a whole lot of albums that I listen to where it's just a super intense experience where you're sitting in a chair and you just have to listen to the whole thing, and it's like holy shit, this music gets fucking insane because the tracks are about like 20 to 30 minutes or so, I think. So it's like this is what is called, I think they created this genre called crescendo core or whatever, and these songs build up. They have 20 minutes to build up to the intense moments and stuff like that. And it's mainly an instrumental album and stuff like that too, but goddamn, this is just super good. Super good. All right, let's go back to the Spotify. Let's see if we can find any other recommendations. Do I want to put Arctic Monkeys in here? I like their first album the best, I know. What else we got here? Maybe The Color and the Shape by Foo Fighters. That's definitely the best post-grunge album ever. Oh, wow. I could put Ride the Lightning. That would break the rule of two. Or the rule of one, I guess. How about I put the Black Parade on here? Because I think over time, as I've listened to this more often than not, I found this to be a really good emo. What would that category be? It's emo mixed with post or pop punk. I wouldn't count that. It might be alt rock and some sort of. I gotta check this out. It's definitely a rock opera if you wanted that. It's if you've listened to American Idiot by Green Day, it's the same thing as that. It's a rock opera. I think this is a better one though. Oh, emo pop. I'm fucking stupid. It's emo pop mixed with art rock, which is why I have a preference towards it. Rock opera, like I said, and alt rock. Yep. And dark cabaret. That's more of like the themes of it and stuff like that, rather than like the genre of it. It's just if you wanted a more intense version of American Idiot, where I think a lot of the stories are a lot more, or the songwriting is a little bit more potent and a little bit more, not relatable, but just a little bit more sympathetic to the listener, or maybe it's vice versa to the creator and stuff, where the way they're articulating the experiences and everything of the music is a lot more intense than I think it is on American Idiot. I think that has a little bit more pop sense to it, versus this one kind of carries a little bit more of the artistic side of it and experimental side of it. But obviously you can listen to Welcome to the Black Parade and stuff. Dead's a good song. Famous Last Words, Teenagers, Cancer. Oh my god, Cancer's a really good song. But I'll put it on there. I liked it. I don't listen to it too often, but it is really good. I actually want to see really quick what they put it at. Yeah, no, it's awesome. All right, so what do we got now? We've got that. Yeah, I'll do... Okay, I said I was going to put a national record on here. And I'll just be safe and I'll go with Boxer. It's similar to Arcade Fire. So if you like Arcade Fire, I'd recommend listening to the National. If you like... Okay, so if you like funeral era Arcade Fire, listen to Boxer. Because it's essentially the same kind of album... but instead of leaning heavier into the chamber pop, it leans heavier into the post-punk side of the music mixed with indie rock and everything. So it's a lot. The songs are a little bit more straightforward and stuff. But I think it's a little bit more consistent. Like there's not an amalgamation of highs and lows on the album. It's more like they're all kind of like the same level of intensity on the music. So... but The National is definitely a band that crafts pretty good albums, pretty safe. I would say safe. It's safe rock, indie rock music. If this loads for some reason, it's not. Why is this not going? Oh, is it just loading? Okay. Yeah. I could definitely recommend Sleep Well Beast Sleep Well Beast. I don't really care too much for this one. I can't remember. It's not Conversation 16. It's something else. But Trouble Will Find Me, I listen to the most. High Violet is what it was. Yeah, Boxer, definitely recommend as like the one to get into. Let's see here. Fake Empire is fine. Mistaken for Strangers. God, like all of these songs are really well-crafted sub 4 or 5 minute songs. They're really easy to get into, and yeah, definitely recommend. Okay. I will do this for right now, but I'm gonna be a basic bitch, and I'm gonna put Coldplay on here. But here's the thing, I'm gonna put good Coldplay on here. So I'm gonna put their second album on here, A Rush of Blood to the Head. Because it's not pretentious. They don't get pretentious until about Viva La Vida, I think. And so they still have something to prove to themselves because they're coming off the heels of Parachutes and whatnot. I just think what worked for them on Parachutes, they just doubled down on... Because they have a knack for doubling down on the sound that was made them successful. Like their biggest hits on like each album is like what they focus on the next album. Or whatever, but on Rush of Blood to the Head, it's kind of like the last time they're able, well, besides Fix You, I would say, where they're a lot more down to earth and more intimate with a lot of their music and songwriting and everything, and just they just really work on well-crafted songs for the most part. I want to actually see too what Rate Your Music actually put them at for their best thing. Yeah, if you like pop rock, it's probably one of the best pop rock albums I could probably recommend to you. But in terms of their music, what do people recommend the most? Probably, I would say Viva La Vida, but that or Rush of Blood, which is what I'm going with. Yeah, but it's pop rock, alt rock, art rock, and then some piano rock. I'm not really a piano rock person, but I can definitely see it in there, obviously, in their older music and stuff. So early 2000s, or just even 2000s, Coldplay in general is probably when they were at the height of their success, and then so I'd recommend that. Okay. I think on these lower albums and stuff, I might go a little bit faster in terms of what I'm talking about. Wow. I see ones I could put on here. I'm just trying to see what I would recommend first. Ooh, I Am Stupid. Why have I not seen this yet? Yeah, Rage Against the Machine. God, that's another alt metal album. Alternative metal album. That's probably the best one. I'd probably put it toe-to-toe with this for different reasons and stuff. But yeah, A lot of people know about Rage Against the Machine. They have a really good fucking sound in the early 90s and stuff. I used to think that Battle of Los Angeles was their best album, but it's more of the poppier side of that. They tried to make a poppier version of their original album sound, and it just doesn't sound as good as the original. They had a really good aesthetic going for them on the first one, and it doesn't sound fucking fake. So I will definitely give it to them there. Yeah, I don't know why I didn't think of that. I think, are they in my Spotify still? Where? Yeah, they're right there. I just kind of missed it. I didn't even see it. You know, I would put the Strokes, but I'm not gonna. Right now, at least. Okay, let's see here. Wow. It's getting tougher and tougher. Oh, I am stupid. God damn, I am stupid. Okay. So I have a bias towards this one. But I'm going to put Touche Amore's Stage 4 album on here. This is a post-hardcore... would you put alt-rock? I wouldn't put indie rock or something. It's post-hardcore. It's just post-hardcore is the best way to describe it. Yeah, let's look it up. Because I have a general... Oh, it's screamo mixed with post-hardcore. That's what I was thinking of. I have a general bias towards this album because it deals with people dying. The singers the singer's mom dies of cancer or something like that, and the way that he projects that music into his music, it's very direct and intense. It's like the intense pain that you feel with a loved one dying, and if you are the type of person where you're just really fucking mad at the situation when you're going through the stage of grief, just imagine that there was a song or an album that just did all of that and stuff. And that's probably what it is. So I tend to listen to this a lot because I've gone through some of my family members dying of cancer, so I find it really relatable to that music. So yeah, you could make the case that some of the songs are kind of samey and whatever on here, but like I just find that the intensity and the empatheticness to the music makes it, or the sympathy, I guess, to the music, it makes it really good. What else? Okay, I'll put... For the ones I'm not sure about, I'm just kind of go through them. Okay, how am I... Let's see if it just comes up with this. Okay, Arctic Monkeys. This is just post-punk, indie rock music. Pretty quick, fast stuff like that. If you like more of the Strokes with a harder garage rock style sound, then you would like this. And this is their first album, so it's just a lot of good tracks like that. There's some smoother tracks on here and everything, but I listen to this sometimes in the summer. Let's go ahead and put a Blink-182 album on here. So I'm not going to put Animal State because I think they get better on their self-titled record. I think they're a lot better at that. In regards to, because it's just they do, I think that when they incorporated experimental rock elements into their sound of pop punk, it just pans out. And this is like the last album they make before they disband and eventually like break up as a band and come back and reform. But at this point they're like at their creative peak or whatever, because they're just mixing in so many different elements of music, like post-hardcore, experimental rock. I'm trying to think, and I think that's why I have a bias towards it, because as I've gotten older, I've had less preference to. I think post-hardcore is like the grown-ups version of pop punk, if that's how I would put it. But yeah, there's a lot of really good cuts on here, and it's really successful what they do in the experimentation, because like I Miss You is like no one thought that they would make that song or whatever, that would be a Blink-182 song. So yeah, all right, and then let's see. I don't really care for U2 a whole lot. I could put this Neutral Milk Hotel album on there. I'm just not sure about it. I wouldn't put Rumors on there. I don't listen to enough Fleetwood Mac. I do want to put Deer Hunter on here. Yeah, no, we can. Put Deer Hunter on here. It's indie rock mixed with what would it be? Art pop a little bit. And art rock, I would think. This is neo-psych. Yeah, neo-psych is what I was thinking of. Yep, neo-psych, indie rock, dream pop. Yeah, there's not a lot of dream pop albums I listen to, but this is one of them that I really like. Don't Cry, Revival. Well, yeah, I'd have to listen to this again, but I know this is like the only Deer Hunter album I actually really like listening to, because there's other ones that I'll just listen to songs by, but this has a good balance of indie rock and neo-psych that I really like about it. We can put King Gizzard on here now. If you like that Caius album, then you're gonna like Nonagon Infinity, because it mixes some of this garage rock revival with stoner metal and psych music, and all in one. It's just a really high intensity album that consistently loops as you play it over, so it just keeps playing over and over. Yeah, but no, if you like those kind of albums, then you'd recommend this. That'd be a good album for the 2010s. I'd put there with everything. All right, back to this, or no, shit. Back to Spotify. Do. Wow. I don't really care for the Antlers Hospice album. I do like it. It's just not enough to like where I'd consider it to be really good. Do I like David Bowie enough to put him on that list? I like this album. This is my favorite album by him, but I don't know if I like him enough to put him on that list. Oh, I'll put The Crane Wife by the Decemberists. It's another one of those early 2000s, early to mid 2000s indie rock revival. This is more of the art rock category of things. It's similar to Arcade Fire. If you were going to listen to them, they have a little bit of prog rock into their sound that they mix in. If you like a little bit of Pink Floyd prog style rock mixed in with indie rock, then you would like this. The storytelling in it is really awesome. I would definitely recommend that. I don't listen to it too often, but yeah. Okay. So now, Muse I like Muse, but I don't think Origin of Symmetry is good enough to put on there. I wouldn't put Downward Spiral. I'm not a true Nine Inch Nails fan, or stan, I guess. Yeah, we could put Doolittle on there. If you want to listen to very early sounding indie rock, but they're kind of or alternative rock music, I guess I should say. This is 1989, I believe, is when Doolittle comes out. It's very early form. I think Steve Albini does the first album on this, but I think it's another one of those examples where basically it's like the Modest Mouse example, where they refine some of that sound that was highly distorted and stuff, and they just kind of reel it in a little bit. And I think the songwriting and the songs just are make it a little bit more enjoyable and whatnot through that. So yeah, because there's a bunch of it doesn't have "Where Is My Mind" on there, but if I listen to Surfa Rosa versus Doolittle, I'm always gonna pick Doolittle. It's a more basic pick, yeah. It's got a little bit, yeah, it's got a little bit of surf rock in there, of all things, which it's actually really good. But like, "Here Comes Your Man," yeah, there's just so many good singles off of this thing that makes it so enjoyable to listen to. Very good summer album that I would jam out to. Okay, let's go back, check it again. Yeah, I think I'll do that, and I'll put Siamese Dream, because I do like myself some Smashing Pumpkins, and I think it's the best version of them, because it's again the same example where they get better at refining the sound of what they're trying to go for. Today, what is it? What's the beginning track off of that's really good? Quiet's good. God damn it, I can't remember the name of the track, but yeah, just same thing. I think on the next album, that's way longer. Their double album that they do with Melancholy Infinite Sadness. It's good, but I think it's just very bloated. I still love it though. Cherub Rock or Cherub Rock, whatever. But Mayonnaise is good. Silverfuck is awesome. Disarm is like a popular single by them. But it's just peak. It was just the peak of their sound and everything, so I enjoyed that. Okay. For this bottom tier, I'm gonna start putting in double albums just so I can, just because I think it'll go a little bit faster if I put in double albums. So, OK Computer, easy. That's Radiohead's. It goes toe to toe with Kid A. If you like more alt rock, if you like the safeness of alt rock sound that's experimented on and like fleshed out, versus like this going into more EDM or IDM sound and stuff, then I would recommend that over this. It's a little bit easier on the ears to listen to this album before you would go to Kid A, so I'd recommend that first. It's not all the way down there, but I'm just kind of looking at this. Okay, so then, yeah, go back. Okay. God, now I want to put in Rainbows on there, but I'm not going to. I will put Tame Impala on here. Now, most people would go with Lonerism. They want to stay more true to the neo-psych sound of things, but I think mixing in synth pop to the neo-psych sound was a perfect balance of the two. So if you're more of a purist, you'd pick this one. You'd pick Lonerism versus Currents, but Currents is the album I started on, and I think it's got his best song on there, which is "Let It Happen." It's so good. It's like it's just like I was saying earlier with "She Works Out Too Much." It's like one of those examples of where the first time I listened to it, I fell in love with the song. There's a lot. I think the deeper cuts with the filler tracks maybe could be lacking, but I definitely like this when they really hit on the points. Also, just the album cover. If we're talking straight album covers here that look the coolest, it's up there in like the S tier. It'd be like way the fuck up here and stuff. It would be way up there. It's not that good. I'm gonna organize this later, but like, yeah. Anyway, I'll put that there. I'm not big into Sum 41 as I used to be, so I'm not gonna go with them. I'm not into the XX. Wow, that's tough. Because I don't like Wilco enough that I feel like I'm safe. Well, okay, yeah, I'll put it on there. Um, I'm not big into country music. So, but I will say that alternative country is probably like the solution to my disdain for country music because I think it's just more artistic country music. I think it's just more experimental stuff, and they mix in elements of indie rock with their alt country sound and alt rock. I mean, too, and it just pans out kind of really successfully. It's got that balance of being experimental. It's like Disintegration, where it's equal parts experimental while also being enjoyable and stuff. So you feel like you're challenging yourself in the music and stuff. Because like Jesus, etc. is fine. Camera is a really good track off there too. That's really good to listen to. But yeah, some of these are a little bit more on the heavy listener side of things. So now, God, sorry, I'm trying to figure this out. Also, you like my Spotify name? I fished my own asshole. Okay. Do. Okay, if you wanted a pop punk album, do Morbid Stuff. I think it actually, I used to be a little bit more into Jeff Rosenstock, but I think now that I've listened to more pop, I would say that I'm... Oh, you gotta be shitting me. How can I not find it? Morbid stuff. Morbid stuff. Okay, here we go. There we go. If you wanted... I honestly think they're better at making a pop punk album because... And maybe this is just the bias towards... what is it? Post-hardcore, because they mix in elements of that too with their pop punk sound. Same thing that happens on the Blink-182 self-titled album, but just imagine if Enema of the State only had pop punk and post-hardcore, you would get this and stuff. It's really fun to listen to. Just all the songs are really well crafted. It's really high octane, really good. Boner jams, if I should say so, or if I could say so, and I'm going to. You know what? I'll put Neutral Milk Hotel in here because that is a hard album to listen to. But I've heard it be in the conversation for not only the best indie rock albums, but the best albums of all time. It's just, it leans heavy into the art rock, indie rock territory. So it's like, the vocals are very, choppy and distorted, but that adds to the creative quality of the music. So I get why people like that sound, but I think it's just a really intense listen or something. But it's fun. It's definitely fun to listen to. I see why people put it up there on like the best albums of all time list. But I just personally like. There's a time and place to listen to that sort of thing, and I just can't. I don't find myself wanting to do that often. Same thing with the Glow Part 2 has that same thing as Neutral Milk Hotel, even to a lesser extent. I really have trouble listening to this album all the way through. Ooh, I might go with that. Yeah, unless... Do I want to put a Beatles album on here? God, I just don't think I know enough about the Beatles and stuff to put them... But I'll put that Built to Spill record on here. Because it's a little bit easier on the ears indie rock music in the late 90s. It's like if you wanted a easier to listen to version of Modest Mouse that's in between the sound of Lonesome Crowded West and the next album they do, which is Moon and Arca, I would recommend that. I want to see what Built to Spill. Yeah, Keep It Like It's Secret is like the easiest going, I think, for their music. I think more people might choose Perfect from now on. Really, they put it that high. I mean, that's fine, but I think Keep It Like a Secret is a little bit easier to listen to. Yeah, it's just a more purist indie rock sound or whatever. Because when there was a defined sound for indie rock, this was kind of it in the 90s or whatever. I had the CD for a little bit and everything, but if anything, I still like the tunes. It's just like cool indie rock tunes and stuff like that are really good. Time Trap. Carry the Zero is probably the easiest one. Center of the Universe, though. Yeah, no, but I like it. Yeah, I just don't listen to it that often. Okay. We're almost done. Thank fucking God. And then I can finally like rank everything. Yeah, let's just go ahead. I listened to it. It was my favorite album for a long enough time that I'll give it an honorable mention down here. This feels like honorable mention stuff down here. But oh, you know what? Wow. I should have put Dookie on this list. Okay, so if I was gonna pick which is the better album between Dookie and American Idiot, I'd probably say Dookie. But I think they're more ambitious in American Idiot than they obviously are with Dookie. I think it's just Dookie is them playing it a lot safer with their pop punk sound. But American Idiot is Green Day trying to experiment and go into alt rock territory with the pop punk sound, and I think I respect them more for doing this. And I think just the songwriting is a little bit more interesting, and they just make it into a rock opera and stuff. So like, yeah. But the songs are better on Dookie than they are on American Idiot, I would say overall. But I think I find myself listening to American Idiot more, and it used to be my favorite album. So, we will do that. All right. So, oh, crap. Did I just lose the list? Okay. Thank God. I almost thought I lost the list. Holy shit. That would have made the whole stream worthless. Okay. I think I need 2 more. Also, one sec. I hear something real quick. Oh, okay. No, we're good. We're good. I thought I just heard some gas leaking for some reason at my house. I was like, oh shit! I don't really care for that Voids record too much. Same thing with Vampire Weekend. I don't like them enough to say anything. I like the album. Don't like them enough to put them on my list. Same thing with the Strokes. I might... Yeah, I don't know. Alrighty, right. Wow. I don't like Clarity enough by Jimmy Eat World to put it on there, but that'd be their best album. You know what? That's tough. I don't think Glass Beach I like enough to put on there, though. Okay, let me look at this again. You know what? Okay, I'm gonna do another rule break, and I'm gonna put another Cure album on here because I think it's that good. Because Pornography... Oh, okay, yeah, that works. I have 2 more then. Pornography is just a more purist version of gothic rock and post-punk. If you wanted that better side of that versus the poppier side of Disintegration, then you would go with Pornography, and I think it's that good. So I'll break the rule of 2, or I'll put the rule of 2 in place for The Cure and Radiohead. Weezer, I wouldn't put Pinkerton on here just because. And I'll I'll put Remo Drive. This is a really random pick, but they have a really good emo pop album. And if you like Jimmy Eat World, then you would like, or if you like early Jimmy Eat World, you'd like these guys or something. I think they mix in that original sound of Weezer's first album with some of the emo pop elements from Jimmy Eat World's songwriting. So if you like that, then I would recommend that on there. I've actually got a signed copy of this album by those guys because I saw them when they were touring for that album. But I will put them on there as another honorable mention and stuff because I do like a lot of the cuts off of there. Yeah, but I think over time I've also because they've released albums that have just been lackluster compared to the first album and stuff. Yeah. So that's what I'll say about that. All right, final one. What are we going to put? I don't like Queen enough to put A Night at the Opera on there. I don't like My Morning Jacket enough. I'm not a big Lorde fan to put her on there. This is tough. This is getting tough, bro. No, I'm not going to put a second Coldplay album on there. That's dumb. Arcade Fire would be the next one, maybe? But yeah. Okay. No. Yeah. I think I might have my pick. If I don't have it so far. Oh, you know what? Let me just make sure I'm not missing anything. Yeah, I've got it. It's that Seeker Roast record. Yeah. Because, again, I have a bias towards post-rock. I think it's one of the better genres of music and stuff. So, yeah, I can't even say it. I think they're from New Zealand, if I remember right. But I can't say the name of the album, so I'll just show you it. And it'll say where they're from. They're from where Bjork is from, I think. Sweden, maybe. Is that the Swedish flag? Yeah, anyway, their first album is or not their first album. Not their first album. Their second album is their best album, and it's really good. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's what it is. It mixes dream pop in there with the post-rock sound, because it's like when you talk about post-rock bands and stuff, you get some bands like Godspeed where they mix more crescendo chords in there, and this would be the dream pop side of post-rock with Sigur Rós. But yeah, no, they are good. They have other albums, obviously, that are good. I think those three are like their best, and then yep. But yeah, no, that was pretty good. Okay, all right. Thank God we got a list. Okay, so now we can move everything around. So this will take maybe like another 5 to 10 minutes. All right. Let's see here. Okay, so Tame Impala. No, you are going down here. White Pony can be up here right now. Weezer's up here. I'll put you up here. Daft Punk. Ooh, that's tough. I'll put Modest Mouse up here. I'll put Godspeed up here. Put this a little bit more up here. Put this up here. Move that down. Move that down. Move this up. Move this up. Okay. Is there anything down here that I like more than... Okay, Master of Puppets can go down here. Yeah, this is just tough because, okay, so anything that's on the bottom, it'll be the least liked. Put that down there. Put this up here. King Gizzard can go down there. Cedar Roast can go up here. I like Allison Chains enough to go up there. I'll put you down here. Okay. I sort of like that, but I think Sunbather needs to go down there. Yep, that looks better. Okay. Put you up here. And wow, this is tough. This is fucking tough. Okay. So now I'll put that up there. Put you down here. Put you down here. Put you up here. Yeah, that looks pretty good so far. Alright, so is there anything up here? I'll put Master of Puppets down here. Okay, so this Sunbather can go down here. Discovery can go up. That can go up. I can put Funeral up here. Discovery, I want up there. This can go down. Okay, and then let's do this. Okay, so Deftones, this. No, I think that top 5 is pretty solid. Okay, so that's pretty good. I like all these more than I like these. Maybe I'll put Master of Puppets here first. Or do I like alt metal more than I like thrash metal? Yeah, I think I do, so that's all pretty good. Do I like this on this side of the list? Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. I think I have everything where it's reasonably supposed to be placed. Because I think it's once you get into the rows and stuff like that it should be fine. But yeah, no, I like that because Deftones. I don't think it's the best album. Maybe not my favorite album, but yeah, that's tough. It's really up there. But yeah, these are all my favorite albums, and then second favorites, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. Yep. So I kind of want to just look at this. So you got alternative metal here. I want to see what White Pony counts as. Oh, and then new metal. I think it's new metal and alternative metal. Alternative metal, new metal, shoegaze, post-hardcore, post-metal. Okay. And then Weezer is alt-rock mixed with power pop. Maybe some indie rock. Disintegration is goth rock mixed with post-punk or post-punk, and then indie rock maybe. But this is indie rock. Brand new is indie rock, emo, post-hardcore, and then art rock, art rock, art rock, art rock, art rock. Post rock, indie rock, indie rock, indie rock, art rock. I said already. alternative alt rock too. So you can definitely see that there's alternative metal, alternative rock, indie rock. What else is there? Post-hardcore, post-rock. A lot of those. Indie rock, but mixed with chamber pop. Indie rock mixed with indie-tronic. Or indie pop, I should say. Indie pop's also in there. French house, that's just a really random one. Alternative metal. Post-punk, gothic rock. Alternative metal. Post-rock mixed with art rock. Indie rock. Neo-psych, okay, that's another genre. Neo-psych mixed with synth pop. And then post-hardcore. And then black metal, black gaze, post-rock, alternative metal, stoner metal, and then thrash metal, grunge, alt-rock. That's a pretty common theme. I think I kind of narrowed that down. Okay, I kind of want to see. Okay, so this comes out in like 2000s, early 2000s, mid 90s, 1989. So actually, what's the oldest album I have on here? Probably Wish You Were Here, which I think was like 1975 or something like that. I know it was in the 70s. The newest album I have is Black Country New Road, which is right there. What comes after that? What comes after Wish You Were Here? Sometime in the 80s. Oh, it's Pornography in 1981 or 2, I believe, is when that comes out. And then, yeah. And then nothing else really comes to it besides 1989, 1980 something. I don't remember if that was 86, 87 or something for Master of Puppets. 91. That was in 91, I believe, too, or 92. Yeah, no. You can kind of tell that I'm listening to very little stuff. Not to say I don't like stuff older than that. Obviously I like David Bowie and the Beatles and stuff. And hell, even Roy Orbison and some Buddy Holly, but you can definitely tell it's very rock and metal based and stuff in my music. And then subgenres of all those different genres and stuff. Punk music. So punk, rock, and metal, and then subsequent subgenres of that too. So yeah. Well, that's about it. That's the list. Yeah, so that's pretty much my 2021 best albums of all time list. I do have another list somewhere that I could find that I'm curious about, but yeah, no, that's it, I think. So yeah, if you wanted recommendations, I would definitely recommend those, because yeah, seriously, okay, if you're asking me alternative metal albums, just go with White Pony, Dirt, Rage Against the Machine. Those are pretty safe picks. You could do Caius. That's a little bit less known of an alternative metal album. If you wanted alternative rock, there's so many I could recommend. Weezer's pretty easygoing on the ears. Alternative rock with that. Radiohead would be a little bit harder of a listen to get into, I think. Smashing Pumpkins you might like. But Weezer, I think, would be the easiest one to get into, probably, of those guys. And then post-punk. Because goth rock, if it was just goth rock, I would just go with Pornography or Disintegration. But if it's post-punk music, maybe, yeah, Disintegration, Boxer. What else is there that's on here that's post-punk? There's some elements of that in there, but I wouldn't recommend Black Country New Road. I think those are it. Yeah. Emo albums, Black Parade or this, Devil and God, and then experimental rock, so many of those, Kid A, OK Computer, Wish You Were Here. Yeah, there's a lot of those. Indie pop, either of those two. Maybe some elements of Funeral, and then post rock. Sigur Rós might be easier to listen to than Godspeed. And then, yeah, that's about it, I think. And then metal, thrash metal, Master of Puppets. Sunbather is a hard one to recommend, but it's really good. Same thing with Neutral Milk Hotel. What else I would recommend? What's a difficult listen? If you wanted pop rock, go with Coldplay. Or even Weezer, honestly. I think that's the closest to pop rock. Yeah, no, I think that's about it. Cool, yeah. Well, anyway, that's the list. Yeah, take a break from streaming, and I might be back a little bit later. So thanks for watching, guys. And I'll talk to you later.